Joining us on the line tonight, I'm excited to welcome Gavin Hunt, coach of Bidvest Wits, on the line. Gavin, thank you very much for making time tonight. Normally, I would say in your very busy schedule, but perhaps for the very first time in your career, your schedule looking rather empty at the moment. Gav, how are you dealing with the 21-day lockdown thus far?
Well, it's good. At least I can talk to somebody. The first time I've spoken to somebody today. A man alone.
Well, that's great, Gav. Yeah. Thank you. I mean, how difficult has it been for you in reality?
Listen, it's not. It's a small price to pay to try and get through this. I mean, it's it's really sad to see what's going on around the world, all the tragedies happening, and even in South Africa. So it's very sad. So to play our small part, to just stay at home. Don't worry, lots to do.
Gavin, you're a football man through and through. You've dedicated your entire life to football. How strange does it feel then to be, a professional in the world of football and to be sitting at home now with absolutely nothing to do, watch, or be a part of?
Yeah, look, it's really strange. Not to be able to get in the training ground on a daily basis. But as I said, there's more important things in life right now. So, but yeah, it is difficult to, when you are active every day, to sit around. It's very difficult.
Have you been chatting to your players a lot, Gav? Has there been some conversation between you and the boys to just find out how they're doing, how are they keeping?
Yeah, at the beginning, yes. Obviously, as you've gone on, it's become, you can't keep saying the same things, you know what I mean? So it's pretty much get on with it and hopefully, because we don't really know when this thing is going to end, so hopefully we can just keep going and by the time we get back, it can all be in good shape.
Gavin, you're suggesting when it gets back, and we certainly hope it is a case of when it gets back as opposed to if it gets back. The discussion around how the league should end if we were not to get back on the field. Do you have an opinion on that?
Yeah, look, it's got to finish. We've got to finish before we start again in terms of the league. So whenever we start again, I think we just got to carry on from where we left off, and because I think you need to finish the league, that's for sure.
Would it be possible to try and squeeze as many games into as fewer days as possible? Would you be willing to play arguably 2, 3, 4 games a week?
Yeah, no problem. We've been doing it for months. So 2, 3 games a week, so it's not a problem. And obviously it's just domestically as well, so it's not like we would have to travel like we were doing, certainly for a large part of the season. So yeah, we got no problems with playing 2, 3 games a week. No problems.
You mentioned that as your schedule over the last few months. You're indeed right. Bidvest certainly have had a very, very busy schedule. Do you feel that your journey throughout Africa and, of course, domestically as well, would that prepare you then to arguably go on and play that many games and still be able to come out safely on the other side?
Yeah, I'm one of the guys who really preach to play more games, I've always said the more we play, the better. So I always felt in South Africa we don't play enough football. It's lots of weekends and time you're sitting around. And obviously, the cups are very lucrative, but if you get knocked out, then you don't play. So we went through a little bit of a dip, but we were certainly coming out of it. I could see as well. The last couple of games before we ended, that we were getting better.
Gav, there's been a lot of discussion abroad, in particular, with regards to wages when it comes to football. We know the players, especially abroad, are earning lots of money. Back home here, there's been a discussion around the PSL clubs as to whether or not something can be done, some form of stipend being made available for some of the members of the club. Is that conversation being had at Bidvest Wits?
No, not at all. Not at all. So, I don't see any problems right now. Obviously, we don't want this thing to carry on, but I don't see any problems now with all the teams. I'm sure all the teams will get looked after and take it from there. I think if you look at around the world, it's more about the staff around those big stadiums, which I don't think a lot of the clubs have got. But the people that are affected in South Africa are certainly the security guards and and all the people that work around the match day. We do rely on their income, so that is a sad part of the game,
Gavin, is there a strange, weird way of perhaps looking at this as somewhat of a blessing in disguise for some of those players who may have been suffering with some major injuries? We had Sia Kolisi on the show not too long ago, and he's obviously had a major knee injury, in fact, that he picked up in week 1 of Super Rugby. He was meant to return to action this week, and instead this massive window of no Super Rugby has given him the opportunity to try and recover as quickly as possible and not miss out on game time. A minor opportunity in a window in comparison to what's happening around the rest of the world, but could that perhaps be one minor positive to come out of all of this?
Certainly for some teams that had long-term injuries with players. We've had 1 or 2 injuries that wouldn't have come back when we were playing a couple of weeks ago. So if they wouldn't have been available, for the games now that we played. Well, we're supposed to have played. So that you can look at it like that. But it's it's neither here nor there. I think every club will have their own little problems, and you might have a player that's, with suspension, you know what I mean? And his suspension would have been finished 3 weeks ago. Now, when you start again, he'll still be in suspension, so it works both ways.
Gavin, is it realistic to expect the players to remain in the shape that they should have been had they been performing and playing every single week? You mentioned that, of course, the message has been spread for them to continue training, stay in shape as best they can. We see a lot of videos of athletes and football players in particular working out in homes. I have no doubt that your boys are doing something very similar. But are we expecting some form of rust at least? Is that a given when the football does return?
Oh, huge. There's no chance. There's no chance you can remain football fit. I don't care with any. I've seen all the comments. It's ridiculous. You can skip all day. Ask you to kick a ball. You know what I mean? You need to kick the ball and you need to play, and the football movements are totally different to what you can do in your home, on your home environment, and gymming and lifting weights and squatting and whatever you need to do. But so they'll certainly be way off. Well, not way off, but they'll certainly be off where they were.
I think, Gavin, before I let you go tonight, perhaps just a message to Bidvest Wits fans that are eagerly awaiting the return of your players to get back onto the field and hoping finally for us to flatten this curve and go on and defeat coronavirus. What's your word to them when football does return?
Well, they were all very excited. The week we were supposed to play Chiefs and Pirates in 3 days. It was on the Wednesday, and we closed down on the Monday. I think the Monday or the Tuesday. So everybody was excited. There was so much messages coming in to the club, and that's hopefully we can just when we start again, we can pick off where we finished. So just wish them all well and stay safe, and certainly hope and come support the team.
Well,